you won't be texting and driving with us up in your ride.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, good whatever, good day, sir. Good day, sir. Good day.
Good day, sir.
It is the Wake and Make America show, starring Chris Watkins and MistaTre.
What up?
Or as one person once called me, Mystery, which I said is also relevant somehow. Because it's a mystery how we got here, but we're still here. Of course, it is, of course, as we float down the season 10, the epic season 10, 10 years in the making, 10 seasons, 10 Christmas annual holiday specials, 10 of this, 10 of these nuts, 10,000 sick teas, bitch.
Yep, 10,000 420s.
Me and Kimmy were talking about that yesterday. Or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Or is it either yesterday or the day before? But anyway, she said something to me about, so she was telling me about something, and I was like, and that like led into a whole conversation about how that got started. Sick teas.
Sick tea.
A vape shop over on Academy. Well, let me see how many of the sponsors I can remember. Apothecary Farms. What else did we have? We had so many great sponsors. Let's just throw them all a shout out. They don't pay us anymore anyway. We might as well.
What was it? Maggie's?
No, we never had them. We didn't have them. Did we? If we did, it wasn't for long enough for me to remember.
What about the girl that does the edibles?
No, you know what it was? We had that one. There was Sam's Creations.
Sam's Creations, yeah.
But no, we did have that dispensary though from Pueblo that was a recreational dispensary. Had a really kick-ass logo, and for the life of me, I'm just drawing a blank right now. I feel so terrible. Like, guys, I voiced hundreds of commercials. We had dozens of sponsors, and literally just for our show alone, 3, 5, 6 of them at a time, at any given time. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was actually really relevantly. Okay, now you're just doing to patronize me, but okay.
He's ding-a-linging you.
Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. See, you had to say it that way. Nobody is ding-a-linging me. That is a sound effect on the thing. But Chris, of course, makes it sound like I'm getting dicked down by some dude. So thanks, bro. Appreciate the fuck out of that.
I didn't mean he was bending you over.
Some people get dicked down by the bro. That's your business. I'm not him, though.
Right.
So Chris puts me in that boat, hurts my feelings. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Stop
we love
crying.
Chris. We try to at least. I think Chris is cool. He's all right, I guess. Whatevs. Anyway. Well, that's hurtful. You didn't have to put that we love Chris more. That stings a little, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Hurt by that. Stop it. Okay, we get the point. You like pushing buttons, not just mine, but
Love you
apparently
too,
the ones
bro,
on the
though.
damn computer too. Okay.
Hey, he's got a lot of new ones this year too, don't he?
I think they're all pretty much the same, but it's just we don't use them all. So when we do use them, it's fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you never heard it before.
Right.
So check this out.
It's a new toy.
That's right. It's time for fan mail. So we've got a little bit of fan mail. Got to bust out the mailbox. Mail, baby. All right, I'm sorry for anybody who had to actually. Oh, was right. Anybody who had to actually listen to that right there, I'm actually sorry for that. Well, I deserve that, actually. I didn't even try to, honestly, I broke note and key intentionally. I wanted to sound bad, but at one point I sound so bad, even in my own ear, I was like, I produced music. Why would you do that to people? I'm sorry for that.
Torture yourself.
Okay. So fan mail time. So first off, let me reach in the bag here. I decided to start just holding on to them and writing them down. So I can just pull them out, and they're just rando as all get up. You may have sent this weeks ago. You may have sent this yesterday. This forces you guys to have to listen to us, though.
Uh, you want to hear
See,
your mail read?
that's how you do it. When a good plan comes together, good man. I love when a good plan comes together. There's nothing better than a plan coming together. Smooth like melted cheddar. Oh, he's a wordsmith. Okay, anyway. Probably went too far there. Sometimes I do that though. Sometimes I go too far. It's kind of my MO, if you would. So anyway, let me tell you something. For all you fans out there, first off, this fan right here, love you, from South Carolina, says, make sure you keep up on the Murdoch murder. Shout out to South Carolina. Listen, guys, Cam, you already know Cammy watched that. Let's just get that off the table, bro. You already know she already binge watched the
Yes.
whole series already, and then some, and then some. We all know she's into that type of TV show. That's
Yes.
public knowledge, basically, for lack of a better way to word it. But yeah, so when it comes to us and fan mail, here we go. Love it. By the way, we'll check. I will not be checking that out because, funny enough, the Murdoch murders aren't new to us because they actually happened. You guessed it. It originally happened when we were still on air. So
Yep.
we actually covered this, and I remember saying that I thought he had something to do with it because he just acted way too fucking weird, man. Because I caught I think it might have been body cam video or something. I don't remember. It
Yeah.
was something, but something made me was like, this dude ain't right. For
Something
real though,
fishy.
something's a bit off with this one. He's a way bit off, lad. The lad's a bit off. That's all I'm really saying. Now, well, let's see here. Let's get the next piece of fan mail. But by the way, thank you for the suggestion because that really is just really one of those crazy, crazy shows that everybody from South Carolina. I think what it is so the area. So the business I work for is from that area. So I talk to a lot of people from that area, and so some of them know we have a show, and so I believe that's probably somebody that I've talked to personally directly who's chiming in on that one. Love it, by the way, love it. Shout out to everybody in the
Yeah.
live feed, by the way. Shout out to the Amy's out there, the Jamies out there. I didn't do that. That happened on its own. And of course, next piece of fan mail. Hold on. This one comes from Puerto Rico and says,
Oh.
keep doing what you do. Okay, I like you already. Very, very
So
inspiring, very motivational, short and sweet too. Very un-Puerto
it
Rican
was
of you to keep it short and sweet, though. You must not be Puerto Rican, Puerto Rican. You must be living there. No, I'm just playing.
so what kind of this bummer about that Puerto Rico? Uh, too bad we're not like on pirate radio.
We don't need to be on pirate radio. Dude, we're on something that broadcasts worldwide, bro. Like, actually, we're on like 7 things that broadcast worldwide.
Yes, I know this, but it was cool when they had.
We don't know anything.
It was cool when they had the pirate radio,
That's fair play.
all
There's also a time where
underground
like
and
certain music was banned in England. So what they would do is they would go on a ship offshore, and then
podcast it.
let's see here. Let me see here.
You digging up the info?
Yeah, let me see here. Hang on a second.
Because we got to kind of be right.
Facts. I
Who
recommend
who
not
was
following
it?
Nana.
Who was it that printed records like on old X-rays?
I don't remember, but I know there was like the offshore radios, like for British punk rock, because the music was banned or something like that.
Yeah.
I know in the U.S. there was. radios that were geared towards, that were black owned radios because they wouldn't play music by black artists because they're black. There's been all kinds of different nuances throughout history that one way or another we get around it and it comes to fruition. The people will have what the people want, brother. Let me tell you, I don't give a shit, damn in hell what you like, what you do and what you say. No, okay, I do. But what I'm saying is this: you ain't wrong. Some Throughout history, since the dawn of being able to broadcast stuff, there's always going to be haters going to hate. Y'all don't even know about moms against rappers. Basically, a group of moms didn't like rap music and its content and literally tried to get it banned. I'm talking about mother banned. And you'd have to believe me. This is actually over the internet. We can cuss here. Like I said, it was mother banned. Bro, seriously? Now you're just doing it to irritate me. We have the worst intern ever. Okay, I'm moving forward.
Take that button away from me.
Take his button away from the problem is we can't afford to pay him, so we have to let him do what he wants. Literally let him do what he wants. And look, he knows it. He uses buttons to let us know he knows it.
Right.
So anyway, back on track here. There's always been nuances throughout history that have made things difficult for different people at different times. It's entertaining to unpack the puzzle for me because I see the stupidity in life there. But anyway, I appreciate the comment either way. Let's reach in for what time is it? Okay, we got time for one more piece of mail. Hold on. This one's over here. It's not. I didn't have it.
Fan mail. Fan mail,
getting that fan mail, baby, yeah. I said I wouldn't do that again. I'm really sorry. You know what? Honestly, I don't even think I do it on purpose. 100%.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, so last piece of fan mail. April says, hold on, dang it. I hate when I can't read my own chicken scratch. I wrote it down really fast because it was sent digitally.
Put your glasses on.
I don't have that format on the digital device because I logged out of the account, and well, we'll just talk about that. Anyway, in fan mail, April from Florida says, you should come back to Florida. Do we know each other?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No, you're right, though. I feel that way every day. The problem is, I will say, though, as more and more of my grandkids move away and around the country, I have been feeling less and less like I need to stay where I'm at. Okay, so to be clear, other than I take care of my in-laws with the missus. So if it wasn't for the in-laws, though, man, I'm telling you, I might bounce. I'm like, I'm out this
April. Is April a high tide stick fan?
I don't know. I guess that's a question for April from fan mail in Florida. I don't think we know.
Florida.
I think they're just saying like they know how much I love Florida, so like you should move back. And I'm like, I'm not even from Florida.
Yeah, but you were down there in the Tiki Lounge.
Yeah, and I lived in Florida enough to become a fan of a college football team in Florida. No, it's not the ones you think. I actually don't like them at all, and I didn't before I got there. So I actually picked a team I didn't care about or not, would be a good way to word it. And I said, this is going to be my Florida college team. And that is, let's go. Let's go, Bulls. Let's go, Ybor Street. What? Yeah, Tampa. I'm talking about the University of South Florida Bulls, baby. Woo! They good this year, by the way. Really good this year. It's their time to shine, baby. Get it, Bulls. Let's go. Throw them up. All right. So anyway, that's my school in the Southeast that I like. So anyway, they're not from the Southeastern Conference, though. For anybody out there trying to correct a brother on football, you might as well go to hell. I used to do a football show, goddammit, I know. I'm just saying they're in the Southeast region. All right, so technically they're in the tropical region of America where I want to retire. So they're where I want to be. All right, so Christopher.
Yo.
It's time to start the real show today. Today's show, the White House and Cannabis. So we asked Google AI Gemini, which is just because that's the what I use, right? I'm surprised that didn't trigger, like 5 devices in this room to start going off right now when I say it out loud.
Yeah, right.
If you have voice activated shit, the struggle is
They're
legitly
listening.
real. Like 100% legitly real. The struggle is real.
They're
I'll be sitting there doing something. All of a sudden, my phone will answer the question I asked myself just out loud. And I'm like, thank you, by the way. I actually, that answer's useful, but moderately uncomfortable right now. You listen a lot,
too
more than maybe
much.
I want you to at times.
Right.
Okay, so the White House and Cannabis. So we asked Google AI Gemini to tell us what they thought about, um, the White House and any progress on cannabis, in the White House per se, right? And it kind of gave us what its breakdown of what it would be. And I'm going to read you that, and then we're going to talk about why it says this, basically, right? Like, why does the artificial intelligent world think, that this is what, we got going on, basically, for lack of better words, right? So, what did AI say? The White House and relevant federal agencies are currently engaged in the process that could lead to a major change in the federal classification of cannabis. But the timing of the final decision is not certain. Okay. Thanks,
It's
AI.
being honest. It's being honest.
I mean, even artificial intelligence knows we're getting dicked around here. But anyway, it's like, yeah, so from what I know, it says they working on it.
Right.
AI gave you like an answer your friend gives you when you're asked like when the new McDonald's will be done being built. It's like seriously that bad. AI's like, dude, listen, it said whenever. uh, so anyway,
But
but I think some of the talking points that it brought up that we're going to discuss you and I directly, um, I think lead more relevance than maybe even what we asked, honestly.
yeah.
But you know, so let's go through. I think some of these talking points that I think are pretty relevant when it comes to the White House, the government, and cannabis. Now, first off, obviously, with having an ultra conservative Supreme Court combined with a um, pretty conservative minded leader who may pander and even gear himself more towards the religious groups of America, right? And that can sometimes actually be detrimental. Sorry, guys. That can sometimes be detrimental to the process we're trying to achieve, right? So anyway, but I do think that an ultra conservative government is going to, whatever we get, it might be a dumbed down version of what you want, right? That's I quite often try to remind, humans of that part, right? That it's hard out here for a pimp, right? Um, but like not just in the movie way, but like literally for political, man, sorry, for political
Well,
pimping
yeah.
though.
Let's break it down. I mean, because if you really think about it, um, if you listen to some of his talking points to different demographics, he tries to tell each demographic what they want to hear.
Well, right, and I think that's where delivery becomes like part of the problem, and the solution, right? Like, while we can ask AI and all this other stuff, you and I have been waiting for some of the stuff that might be mentioned for even through Democratic parties, right? And I
Yeah.
always say, God bless you, Mr. Obama, for the healthcare stuff because honestly, that's really helped out. And if you're against that, you're just, I think at this point, you're either dumb, ignorant, stupid, or you're fucking wealthy. It's the only reasons at this point that if you don't understand how effective the national healthcare plan that the Obama administration put through is. But then I can go, let's talk about cannabis and Obama, and it's more like no Obama. You feel me?
Hmm.
So keep that in mind, guys. A lot of people that praise that administration, I say, yeah, I do for healthcare, but I will flip the coin and say that on the cannabis side, he was no Obama on cannabis. It was never going to happen. Anyone who thought it was like, oh, we got the black dude in there, he's so cool, we're gonna get weed. I was like, nah.
No, you're not.
Bro, it's not about that life. Now,
Well, yeah, and I don't
Father
think
Time,
cannabis
Biden might have
can't.
been, but he still never got it done. Father Time
I
was a
don't
little
think
bit more about it, though. I mean, I'll give him that. We're brutally honest here,
cannabis.
folks. We don't hate any of your politicians so much as we just call it like we see it. Curveballs are curveballs, strikes are strikes, and anything right on the edge of the box, sure, it's debatable, but we're still going to call it like we see it.
But, but cannabis has come a long way since the Obama administration, too, though.
Oh yeah, 100% for sure. But again, I mean, I think we saw, for instance, the hemp bill from the Trump administration in his first term. You see, after that, the Biden administration trying to get rescheduling done, which brings me to my first point. So rescheduling is under view, right? Probably significant and likely at least the more probable sooner action on cannabis is going to probably be something in the ballpark of rescheduling, right? Under the Controlled Substance Act, obviously being a Schedule One substance, it really lists it as no clinical or medical value, which we all know that's not true. It lists it as not having any value to human consumption and life. That's just impossibly not true. If you didn't catch the endocannabinoid episode, and right now it's the number one episode and the most popular episode at the moment that we've put out this season, the endocannabinoid system, where Chris really taught us about it, and we really got into the discussion of why do all living mammals with a vertebrae have one? You can't
Right.
let some person's religious views or government views decide that your body's not going to use that system because I said so. But you know why? You know what? You know what pisses me off? Because all religions are guilty of this in most cases, not all, but so many of them that we can damn near say all religions are guilty of this. Why the fuck is it anytime anything that helps you, anything that makes you feel good, take away the pain, maybe make you live a higher quality of life without suffering, anything like that, Chris, right? Is the Bobby Boucher goddamn foosball devil. And I don't understand it, so bitch, I don't.
Well,
It makes no
here's a
goddamn sense. Like, why would anything built into my fucking brain by your God be bad?
well because here's the thing: if you're well and good from an herbal supplement of any type, and or even prescription medication, that gives you no reason to search for help from church or other agencies.
You mean if I think on my own, I won't need someone to tell me how to think? Jolly
Right.
good wisdom. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you for saying it.
Right. So if
I
I
don't know what
have
just
no
happened there either,
reason,
bro. I'm looking at my microphone going like, what the fuck did I just say?
it,
No, but anyways,
it,
back on track here. Let's talk about a couple of points that are okay. Where in the hell did my stylus? Oh, it's right in front of my face. I'm like, where do my? For those of you who don't know, I do digital notes and I use my stylus to scratch stuff out as we go over it, so I don't repeat myself and make sure I keep on track. But anyway, long story short, I also can sit a stylus down in front of me to do that, and then forget it sitting right in front of me. This is
it's
my
that
life,
ADHD.
brother. Preach. All right, so guys, listen,
Smoke another.
gals,
Let's get it.
listen. Honestly, I would smoke another one, but my dab pen I left at the house before I came to the studio, and the bong is in the other. It's in the coffee room and in the break room, and I gripped it and ripped it, and then came in here and left it in there. And well, anyway, here we are. This is my life. I will have a bong ready and leave it in another room. Yeah, is right. Do it again, one more time. Thank you. I deserve three of them. That's why I wanted you to do it one more. Okay, so Chris,
Yes, sir.
the process was initiated by, of course, the previous administration, the Biden administration's directive for review before Trump administration. The Department of Health and Human Services proposed a rule in May of 2024 to transfer marijuana to Schedule 3. The process is currently awaiting a formal hearing. It was supposed to be scheduled for early this year, but let's just say that we got people who do not want cannabis ever legalized in this country, for whether it's being in the church's pocket, whether it's being in big pharma's pocket. I honestly, at this point, I don't think who's in whose pockets is particularly an important part of it, in a sense of that we all know this story. And shout out to Amy, the big pharma. Hold on, dang it! I hate how small the writing is on this shit that I really do. It doesn't bother. Anyway, the big pharmacy companies won't make their money. Correct. Yep. And then of course we got the Amy and the Jamie in the house tonight, backing up the group chat for the live chat. And by the way, if you want to be part of the live show, download the Podbean app, search the Wake and Bake America show, and you can easily, it's Wake-and-Bake America show. You can easily get us. You can join us. You can be part of the show. You can comment on the live shows. And then, of course, on your favorite podcast servers like Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and more. Check us out, of course, YouTube as well. And make sure you do definitely listen to the show. If you're like me, when I used to call in and comment on radio stations, and we didn't send in messages because I was calling live stations, I would literally go back and listen to the replay of the show like later on that evening or something, just so I could hear myself. Oh, it was so great. And then I joined real radio stations as an employee doing shows. And I was like, wait a minute. So we have to listen to ourselves, even if maybe that day I don't want to? You mean now it's a
Yeah,
job? All right,
you're
now
right.
that ain't fun. It's just funny how that works, right? It starts out as a hobby and a joy and a thing you just do. Next thing you know, you're getting paid for it, and it's work. And this is what ruins humanity, or I think at least.
Hey, we're also on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh yeah, hit him with the ticky tacky.
Wake the letter and bake.
Oh, seriously, should
Yeah,
probably. I
for
don't even
both
have
of them.
social.
No, I'm in
Sometimes I
charge
think
of
I
all
should
that.
have our TikTok logins just so I can post stuff. But then I'm like, but then that would equivocally be having social media, and that's what your job is. You have a job, and
Yes,
I
sir.
produce our shows. You don't have to waste time
Right.
producing our shows. You just post shit. We're good. It's called teamwork.
You know it.
I think some of my prior hosts would probably shit themselves. They'd be like, he really let somebody else do something and run something for once. Yeah,
I
yeah. It's
know.
called growth, bitches. Okay? It's called growth. All right? I've grown.
Delegation.
Don't worry about what that was in the background. That was a casualty of technological warfare.
That's a that's the Wake and Bake radio show. What are you talking about?
Oof. Somehow there's so much relevance, and I'm still somehow hurt by that. So
We
the
have some
potential
weird
impact.
shit happen.
So according to AI, the potential impact of rescheduling is that the move to Schedule 3 would recognize that cannabis currently has a currently accepted medical use, and to lower the potential of abuse than substance 1, 2, 3 drugs. And so here's the thing: is cannabis has the potential. First off, it currently is listed as no medical use, which for over going on almost 3 decades, maybe almost 4 decades now, 3 decades, 3 decades. For 3 decades that no one's been able to hide it. I'll word it that way. How about that, Chris? For three
Yeah.
decades, we have research that shows that it has medical value. And so by pure de facto, your feelings don't count here. That's one of the biggest things that drove me nuts about the anti-cannabis, faction of America per se. That right there.
Hmm.
Your feelings do not get to fucking decide that science and medical
Is
fact is wrong simply because you disagree with it. Never mind the rigorous amounts of the rigors of scientific theory and proof that it's went through. You know what hasn't went through the rigors of scientific rigor and proof? Your fucking opinion. So shove it.
well, yeah, and you also have to think. I mean, even though there hasn't been the type of testing here in America
I
that
know that.
needs to be happening, um,
I just got a dirty look from the
there,
intern.
theoretically, I mean, all cannabis users are now test subjects.
Facts though. I've been a test subject for like 20 years, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity to help my fellow man by getting completely blitzed out of my mind.
Right.
You're welcome, America. You're motherfucking welcome.
Right. I mean, cannabis has come a long way. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Back in '96, did you really think that weed was going to be legal?
And when?
Right.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the year. My apologies.
'96
Oh, okay. So in 96, when California legalized medical cannabis for
use.
back then, even in 96, it was so regulated so hard that it was pretty much you had to be dying, right? That was
Yeah.
what got
Yeah.
worked out from 96 to 2000 when Colorado finally came on, right? Because in Colorado,
Yep.
they were like,
Yep.
listen, we're not going to make people literally be eligible for this if they're on their deathbed when it could be something that literally doesn't put them on their deathbed in the first place. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I got to tell you, man, I am utterly fascinated by mankind's stupidity. Would probably be a hell of a good way to word it, but yeah, 96. I think I was like any idiot teenager in 96. You know what I mean? Just for context, people, in 1996, I was like 15 years old. Okay, um, I would say at 15 years old, first off, I was selling nickel and dime bags to dudes, bro. Like seriously, God bless the statute of limitations on selling nickel and dime bags to your friends 40 years ago or 30 years ago. But anyway, I thought weed was cool. Bone Thugs and Harmony was my shit. Tupac hadn't died yet, or he was about to die. All right, I think he died that
He's about
fall
to
when I was
die. Yeah.
I think he died that fall, if I remember right. I know he died when I was in school for sure, because people were crying at my school. Like it was like this was like this must have been like what happened when Buddy Holly and Richie Valens died. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like
I
that. Like when
graduated
Elvis
that
died
year.
for hip hop, it was hip hop's version of Elvis that died. That's actually more legit than you know. He was the king of
You were
hip hop
just
in that
starting
moment,
high.
and he was
You
on
were
his way
just
to.
starting high school.
Then he was
You
murdered.
were just
And,
starting high
to this
school,
day,
and I was graduating.
there's still to this day up in the air about how and why he really was murdered, right? You know that, right? Like it's still kind
Oh
of,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and I know your old ass was in high school. I was just starting high school. I
I was ending high school.
was probably my freshman year or sophomore year. I graduated when I was 19, so the years don't match up right. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Um, no, what I'm saying is I hate you.
Held back.
That's what I'm really saying. I just hate you.
You
You're an
love
idiot.
me, man.
Don't support him. What are you doing? Why are you taking down turn my mic back up? This fucking guy. You better quit playing with me, bro. I'm not in the mood. I have a headache actually. Like, take mercy on my soul. You can fuck with me next week. I have a splitting headache actually. This is where I tell people, you don't know how good of a goddamn actor we really are. 100%. You didn't even know I was suffering deep down inside until I told you.
Better.
I actually have a migraine and I'm hurting deeply,
You
mostly
got
for
to
this
teach the
intern I'm about
intern.
to murder. No, I'm playing. I'm
Teach
just kidding. I
te-
wouldn't kill
teach
you.
the intern to
I don't do
roll.
time for interns. Interns do time for me. Don't you know the game? Yeah, that's right. Give it up.
You got to.
Interns do time. I like your style, Brad. This is good.
You just got to teach him to roll.
Teach him to roll. Oh, roll joints. No, I got to teach him to stop pushing the buttons on the computer and stop producing the show. No, don't do that. But anyway, go grab the bong. But I digress.
Yeah.
When
Right.
we went, now listen, we might get commercial again, but while we're commercial, well, actually no, because there'll be commercial reads. We wouldn't do a played commercial because we're trying to, well, there's things in the world of podcasting, which we'll be going over sometime down the road when we do our show. You want to be a podcaster? Then come listen to that show. Anyway, um, I think that another thing that's being worked on that I think needs to happen quickly too is um, addressing Section 280E of the tax code. I don't think a lot of people know what that's about, and that's something that we've discussed before. Businesses being able to take standard tax deductions that work in the cannabis industry, and then also I would talk about how we still haven't had any finalization, what I would refer to as movement and or otherwise in Chris regards to the Safe Banking Act, which would then allow me to use motherfucking tap to pay when I leave the dispensary. You don't know what
Right.
this shit is like to have to pull out money on an AT. It's a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah. It really is another thing in the long journey that cannabis has been going through that is kind of hit a stalemate, and the government shutdown don't help none.
No, and that's a whole nother thing that if we really had time to deal with it, we would. But we're on a whole nother world of shows. But I will say that little government nuances, much like even with what's going on right now with the shutdown, creating a little nuance, creating extreme chaos, is essentially what we've seen the government do to us in the cannabis industry for a long time, like having to beg for a license to just have a cannabis FM/AM radio show. Here's the truth. If you don't
Yep.
like what the fuck we're talking about, change the fucking station. So why do we have to go beg for the license? Oh my God, you're going to hurt somebody's feelings because they heard something about weed in a state where weed's legal on a station that barely gets outside of its state lines on AM only and not on FM at all. Please fucking tell me why you're crying. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the loopholes we had to jump through when we went AM FM was extravagant.
The betting on us failing is always fun. To pre-order and pay online, then you just have to pick it up. If you're talking about weed, um, I don't think we can prepay in Colorado online. It doesn't work that way. Um,
Oh wow.
but you can
We can do
order
that
and
here.
have it ready for pickup and then walk in and literally pay and leave.
Oh yeah, you can pay online here.
Um, recreational and medical weed still doesn't have a chance in hell of being fully legalized federally. I mean, I think we're probably at least a couple decades away from that, Chris, if I'm being honest. Minimum. You have to remember that for every, let's say, two administrations that are pro cannabis forward, right? You're going to have at least one that goes the opposite direction. And if that administration gets elected twice, then you go backwards twice too, right? So it's basically it's hard out here for a pimp. The wheels of progress are slow, folks. You see that
Right, but I
you go.
ultimately hope that, you know, even over the next couple of administrations, that we still try to make steps forward. We have to, because if we start making too drastic of a step back, we're going to be screwed.
Well, I think whoever's in charge of stuff really matters. Like, I mean, let's just say like the president was cannabis forward, right? But he installs a anti-weed czar for like the DEA or something, right? Um, then what happens is even the very own administration, and he can just blame that guy, and that guy's not gonna. The guy wasn't elected, so we can't do anything about it. He wasn't elected by us, right? So I just think that you the president can pretend to be cannabis. Let's just look. Let's just rip the band-aid off. Look, President Trump can pretend to be cannabis forward all he wants, right? And look, if you ask the White House what their current stance on cannabis is, they're going to say that the administration's general focus is on allowing medical use and states' rights regarding medical use cannabis, right? Um, President Trump confirmed that rescheduling is under consideration, and does say that he does support it. However, the White House um, has indicated that there wouldn't be any federal legalization of anything anytime soon. So just get that off the table. But I will say that when you have, like, for instance, like right now, you have an anti-cannabis drug czar, right? You've got several factions of the administration, whether appointed or part of the cabinet, right? Appointed departments are part of the cabinet. Basically, did you suck enough D during the campaign to get a job, right? And so, hey, look, I call a duck a fucking duck. So, look, I'll call it what it is. you have a president who says he's cannabis forward, right? At least bare minimum medical, right? And that he says that that's his administration stance in the White House, which is all good and well. Everything I just said there's great, cool. But
Until he puts someone in the position
exactly,
that would block
that would slow
what
walk
he's.
his policy to
Yep.
the point where it'll be another
Yep.
administration that actually achieves the policy anyway.
Yep.
Therein lies the problem, my friends.
Yes, sir.
Therein
It's
lies the problem.
it's a chess game. He's trying to win a chess game.
Well, and I would say that either way, no matter what he decides to do, you know, unless you want another Obama term, he ain't getting a third term. Wink, wink. Because
Yeah.
if I've already thought about that, I was like, if the president can convince Congress to allow him to run for a third term, and here's the catch: you'd have to get 60% of the House and Congress to approve it. Then you'd need the states to ratify it because everybody has already agreed to other ratifications of 2 terms. That's it, right? So, in theory, Trump would not even be eligible to be on literally half the ballots in the country because by their 2 term limit rules, he wouldn't be eligible to be on the ballot because he exceeded their 2 term limit rules. So there's a lot of states that were worried. It's weird because there were a lot of states that were worried about, essentially the liberal factions doing this, and it turns out it's the conservative factions trying to take over the government and then
Right.
not relinquish power by running for more terms than what they're even allowed to, right? Or even tried
Right.
the Putin move of installing a puppet president, but really controlling him. No,
Yeah.
that's really what Putin did. Look into it, guys. Blow your mind, blow your fucking mind. Before Putin got them to basically indefinitely let him be a dictator, he actually had a puppet dude in play that was just doing what the fuck he was told or else. It's so crazy. So crazy. The dude did slip up and talk about aliens though one time, and I was like, oops, oops.
Oops.
Fuck that up, did you? You was look, bro.
See?
The KGB ain't, or excuse me, I'm sorry, they're not called that anymore. The GRU or whatever the fuck they're called ain't gonna kill you over slipping up on aliens. But the fact that you did, I see you, bro. I see you. You was the president of motherfucking Russia when you fucked that up. He didn't know there's a hot mic by him though. That's a true story. Actually, look it up, guys. Russian
Yeah.
president slips up on UFOs and aliens, but it wasn't Putin. It was the fuck. What the fuck was his name? I call him puppet president. I don't even respect him enough to
The
actually
president.
remember his name.
And
Just gonna
give
be
him a
honest,
name.
right? It's like, bro, we don't even respect you enough to give you a name because you are Putin's puppet. So you are puppet president. I think that in this country, we are damned if we do, damned if we don't. I think that's probably the realest and richest idea I could come up with is damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I think what makes me say that, bro, is because I think that we have people, for instance, on the conservative side that say they're on your team, but then, like I said, I don't like most people will find out from me that I don't take people's word for shit. People run their
Yeah,
mouths, they talk a good game because they're trying to impress you. And me, I've had to
absolutely.
work for every fucking inch I've ever gotten. I'm rarely impressed, if at all. Famous people liked me because I didn't give a fuck you were famous. To me, you're just another person. We could be in different roles if life had worked out different for both of us. Let's be fucking real. So the reality is that I don't have a lot of respect for someone who just thinks I should respect them because of who they are, you know, politician, famous people, stuff like that. What I do respect is people who keep it real, who are honest, and who where their actions, are non-consequential and directly reflect what they state. So, for instance, when you tell me you have cannabis's back, you don't hire people who are from the ultra conservative religious sect and don't ever want to see this possible in America. These are people that would go as far as to fucking reinstate prohibition on alcohol, let alone let cannabis out, man. And so I just think that
Right.
sometimes, look, I'm not here to Trump, Biden, Obama. That's the last three, right? Did I get it right? Yeah. Bash the shit out these dudes, right? What I'm here to tell you is this: talk is cheap to me, and you're not going to sit here and fool me with your bullshit talk. I've had to tell my own kids this. I've had to tell their spouses this. I've had to tell them, if you think you're going to pull the wool over the eyes of someone who's been investigating news stories and people in sports for the better part of his life at this point, you're fucking on drugs. You must be. So don't even try. Just come straight with me, right? That's what I really tell people, Chris. So
Yep.
I just think that these politicians play a good game. But if like I said, you look at who they hire, and like when the Biden administration hired like a cannabis forward DEA person, I was like, oh shit, they might really review rescheduling. Like he may not be completely
Right.
full of shit for being a conservative minded Catholic who happens to be from the Democratic Party, right? I was like, maybe he's not full of shit. That was more convincing than telling me you're cannabis forward and states right forward. And then you put
And
in a
putting the
drug
czar
czar that's
in.
like, we should start prosecuting federal cases against cannabis users in legal states. And I'm like, wait, what? No. We never agreed to anything like that. I mean, conservative
No.
cannabis smokers and users did not agree to go back underground and potentially go to prison for weed. Like, fuck you, bro. No, we did not agree to that.
Uh-uh. And
I'm
that's
like,
a
I
good
got
thing about a
conservative
lot.
friends who are in the cannabis industry. They're like, whoa, shit, bro, what you fucking saying? No. I'm curious about your thoughts directly surrounding what do you think needs to be done now, in the midterm, and in the long term, please.
I think if anything, they need to pass um, new regulation for testing and research. They claim they need more research, they need more data. Let let's do it. Pass a law allowing facilities, colleges to start human testing, start doing research, start
Wait a minute. I
either
thought you said I
disproving.
was the human test. Now I'm hurt. Now I'm not. What? Make your mind up, Chris.
Well, listen, we all know we're test dummies, but our they're not collecting the data that um one cannabis user might be giving. It's all hearsay. It has to be done in a controlled situation. Um, we need to do this the right way if we're going to do it. Let's disprove them and show them that science says that this is really good for people. Maybe not everybody, but there are going to be a significant number of people that are going to need this.
Yeah. Um, from swag to kind, tested them all. Yeah, me too, with my body. I'm talking about from Mexican, like south of the border,
Brickweed.
across the border weed to ditch weed from Iowa, bro. I have tried it all. Let me tell you, ditch weed from Iowa. If you never smoke weed and you don't smoke every day, all day, none of that, it would get you high. It's still going to be in that like 1% range ish, maybe 1 to 3% range, right? That gets you high if you don't smoke every day like we do. For you and me, it's going to give you a headache. And in some
Yeah.
cases, it might get you high and then give you a headache if you just don't get high every day. Either way, that ditch weed gonna give you a headache. It's not. It hasn't been purified and flushed.
Right.
Um, I remember the I remember like buying like Dro in college and shit, right? And you're like, oh my fucking god. Because then I went to a school that was connected to a state on the West Coast. We call it California connection. I went to school in Arizona, so that's going to be an easy California connection down there in Phoenix to get good weed, right? Came back to Colorado, started getting good weed from a guy who was growing it underground, or from a guy who was getting it from a guy who was growing it underground. Because I had to keep my distance, right? I ain't stupid. I'm like,
Guy who
I'll
knows
pay
the
the
guy.
markup to not go to prison. You can pay the markup of called your lifetime if you get caught slipping, fool. Sold weed for a while illegally, and then all of a sudden, the medical program became something where my problems were valid. Right, two things happened sort of in the right around the same time frame. Right, for me, it was getting older, the gout and arthritis starting to become more prevalent around the same time that those conditions were lightened to include things like that, right? And so I was able to get a medical program right away when that happened, right in the early 2000s. Okay, So anyway, so with that said, I just remember going to the dispensary the first time. Like, oh my fucking god! You know, when I first got weed, I still bought like underground weed. I was just glad to have a card so I couldn't go to jail for it.
Right.
Is that funny?
No, because I think we all did that.
I was like, the good shit was really expensive back then. So I was like, black market weed it is, but at least I have a license. So it was like one guy told me, he said, yeah, like basically, man, if you bought weed from like, some, ghetto kid, they could go to jail, but you wouldn't be doing anything wrong. And I was like, this is the life I want to be part of. I don't think that was
Right.
true. He may have been lying to me, but at the time, I believed him.
No, it
Go.
it was surely true even in Colorado. It was also true here in Michigan. As long as you had a med card, you were golden.
Yep. Some homegrown better than the Spence, yeah, sometimes. I mean, there's a couple times where I
Yep.
just cropped out some shit where I was like, I don't need to go to the dispensary for the next 2 months. I have 2 pounds of weed and it's fucking fire. I only was going to the
Yeah.
dispensary like every few weeks because I needed to break up the strains because it was so good, but you still can get
Yep.
strain lock.
Yep.
Kind out of Boulder back in the day. Kind bud out of Boulder back in the day. Fire, fire. Goddamn college kids, man. They're good. Also, if you ever want to try to get away with something like that, a college town is a good place to start. A
Yep.
medium-sized college town, though, where you can float under the radar,
There,
right?
there's a hippie somewhere on campus.
I always say, the medium-sized college towns where you can't piss off the real drug dealers. That kind of place, right? Where you
There,
might piss
there,
off Billy Bob, who's been selling weed there for 40 years to college kids. You might piss him off. You might kick your ass, but he's not going to fucking kill you. He'll kick your ass though, or he'll send his sons to kick your ass. Don't ask me how that story is so very, 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 very specific with me. And let's just move on. So, Chris,
yes, sir.
um, I got to tell you, buddy, I really do love doing the shows with you, man.
Absolutely.
I'm even with a splitting headache. I can tell you, with a full on migraine, I barely can literally fucking think right now, right? And I'm telling you, man, I have fucking enjoyed just getting in here. I'm literally like avoiding looking directly into the light, batting my eyes, fluttering them like a schoolgirl who's romantically obsessed with her football quarterback, right? Like flutter the eyes, looking a little
You
watery,
can't.
like I might be in love with him. Yeah, I have a migraine. But
I'm
anyway,
sorry, you have migraine, bro.
me too, man. I'm gonna go eat some leftovers because I can't even cook. Well, also,
Yeah.
quite frankly, we eat leftovers every Tuesday because I have to come to the studio and I don't have time to go home and cook first, and I'm not coming home after and cooking. Most
Yeah,
people
you
don't know this,
tried
but I
that,
stick
yeah.
around here for about an hour and watch like Amazing Race or something. Um, well, it depends. I watch something, but sometimes I'll watch like Amazing Race with Mama Bear. She comes down to the studio with me after she gets home and takes the dogs out. Sometimes she brings the dogs with her. And she brings the dogs with her. I'm like, hey, listen, I gotta wait for this audio to render. Let's watch Amazing Race. ABC does not pay me to do that or to talk about that show. It's just fucking cool. I wish I could be on it. Um, and Mama Bear and I think we could like totally at least get like maybe we said we don't need to win it all. We really don't even
Right,
have to
that'd be
win it
the
all.
shit, bro.
We just need to win a leg so we get a free fucking vacation, right? Like literally,
Right.
like just win a leg and get an Expedia like one key cash thingy. I use Expedia
No,
for
you
travel actually. So I'll tell you a secret.
I
I use anything that makes it cheaper. I'll just throw that out there. But
I
my go just like anything, my go-to is Expedia where I get my points or whatever if I can, if it's not cheaper somewhere else.
but I bet you and Mama Bear could do better than one.
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe we win a couple legs, maybe we win a million. Um, if I win $1 million, Chris, the first thing I'm doing is hiding for a while. All jokes aside, I'm gonna hit the talk show circuits, get paid a little more money off of that even, but then I'm hiding. You know why? Because when it's all said and done, I'm gonna buy me an obscure house. I'm gonna visit Chris in Michigan, but definitely gonna be like, I want to come up there like for the 4th of July. Like I want to come up there like when you guys like blow shit up because that's fun.
Okay.
And I blow shit up. But I live in a city where you're not allowed to blow shit up. So you have to go out to the county to do that. Thankfully, my
I
in-laws do live in the county. their part of the city hasn't, but where they live hasn't. They're like on the county line or on the county city line though. So I'm like, if they ever get incorporated, I don't know if we're gonna be allowed to blow shit up anymore.
Well, I blow shit up on the
You
professional
do,
level in my backyard.
but let me tell you, we be like we be waiting for waiting for the police to come around the corner, and everybody kind of slides up into the garage and kicks everything back behind the chairs and those on the grill so it's smoky.
No,
There's a, there's a
no,
way.
literally, I set up a whole show with Pro Tubes and everything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a
I need to come up
blast.
there for the fourth one year. Let Mama Bear and I take care of some things, and I'll talk to you about that privately because some of the things that we
Oh
got
yeah,
coming up over the next couple of years are just not things that I want publicly known. But
yeah,
oh, by the way, just for the record, they're actually really awesome and fun things to talk about, Chris. But as you know,
nice.
that the more and more I've gotten older, I've liked to keep my personal life a bit more private because the most of my radio career also featured um, the end of one relationship, some time being single, and then like the literal last 10 years of another relationship, right? And so I just feel like short of just mentioning fun stuff and being goofy about it all, the truth is I actually kind of like my life a little more private. Oh, shove it. You haven't had to
You
live
got to
with
be
your
in the
life in front of the
know,
public eye
yo.
for like 20 fucking years, have you? But
You're
I have.
right.
It's been fun though. I mean, I'm not bitching. And like sometimes taking a step back, doing your podcast and shutting the fuck up is sometimes better than people realize. At least Chris knows me back to where I was a driven whore to become famous of attention. And either way, it worked and I got there. Cool. Thank you, by the way, man.
Hey,
I appreciate it. That was a good check mark. I
I,
appreciate that.
I walk backstage all the time now.
You do what you want. I feel like I've created you. I'm like proud of that.
I
I'm like, this guy
I
just walks
I
into
just
places like, fuck the guy that owns this joint. I run shit here. Let me in.
yep
And I'm like,
yep
I made that. I made him that way. He wasn't like that.
yeah
He was actually really
no
like low key, just a cool Midwestern dude. And I turned him into a bougie bitch who acts like he belongs there. And they let him in.
yep yep. I've met a lot of famous people that way. Just
Sometimes you
I'm
just got to be really
supposed to be
nice.
here.
You gotta be really
Yeah.
nice, but you do gotta be like a bit assertive and firm and pretend like you're supposed to be there. Like when people are like, they're like, "Where's your ticket?" I'm like, "Ticket?" I'm like, "I'm literally here with our reporting crew on hip hop." Like, what do you mean a ticket? We're not supposed to. We're the media. We don't have tickets. Would you like to see my press pass? All right, next time we come here, Chris, we're gonna be. What do you want to be next time? Do you want to be media? Do you want to be? Do you want to be? I want the DJ. I want the DJ. That one worked. I don't. You weren't with me
Yeah.
when I did the "I'm with the DJ" thing, and then it
No.
turned out
Yeah.
I knew the DJ there, and I ended up on stage and everything. I was
Right.
like, "Holy shit!" Even I told my friends. My friends are like, "You're the coolest dude ever. You're a fucking legend. You're gonna be a legend for life." And I was like, "Bro, seriously? I did not know he was here. I just made it up." It total fluke. We're in the VIP room and in the green room in the back getting wasted, usual shit. But what I'm saying
Yep.
is we did not know that idiot was there. But when we saw it, when I saw him on stage, I was like, because at first it was like, talk our way into the door. Good to go. Didn't pay to get in. Awesome. Then I see the DJ I literally have worked with half my life, and I'm like, holy shit, come with me. We are upgraded, and we didn't even
hmm
know. And then I go to the green room. Who are you? I'm with the DJ. Who are you? I'm with the news station. Who
You
are
do
you? I'm with the
say
radio station. Oh, it's so fun. Listen, I'll tell you people all the time this. You don't flex that and be a bitch about it because it's not fucking cool, man.
oh yeah.
You are everything that
No.
we make fun of, even the people that can do that the right way, make fun of you. Movies, for God's sakes, literally make fun of you for being a douchebag. But when you can do it like for real, like good and the creative way, some kid who probably took steroids, he calls you a fucking legend and you fucking own it. It's awesome. Okay.
It's like Wedding Crashers.
I can't even say that kid probably took steroids, bro. If you saw that meat cake that said I was a legend, I was like, bro, thank you. Please don't bench press
Thank
me.
you.
No, he's a gorilla. Dude is a gorilla. He's so huge. Anyway, okay, so coming up, we got to get out of here. We've hit the limit. We've hit the time frame. We've hit it all. Coming up, guys. I'm really excited about next week. We're going to be talking about like some of the nuances of taking that trip to the cannabis store. So, Chris, write down your bullet points of things that you think people should know when they go to the cannabis store. I'll do the same. I'm sure we'll have some things that are similar. I'm sure we'll have some things that are important to us. The whole point is to kind of take you from literally, basically, essentially, you've gotten your med card now, you've gotten your doctor to approve you, or you live in a recreational state. You hop in the car and scene. That's basically next week's show, guys. And I think that you guys should chime in for that one. I think doing a couple of back-to-back cannabis shows gets us back to our origins and our creativity of cannabis. But I want to let all you people that come around here not for the cannabis, as I say, we do have a couple of shows for you coming up. One, fear factors. We're going to be talking about things that people literally fear, even our own fears, and talking about how those things can at times be crippling or even create anxiety that's crippling. I think that's going to be a just wonderful show, almost like a therapy session for me personally, if I'm being frank. Because I'm going to be talking about things that I can sit there and stare at you and you would never know anything wrong inside, completely falling apart and crumbling. And we're going to talk about that, hiding things like that and how people do and how you never know somebody's struggle. We're going to get into those fear factors of life, for everything from the fear of heights all the way down to internal psychological stuff, right? Anxiety, etc. I think it's going to be a great show. That's in a couple weeks, man. And then after that, we kind of just spiral into more and more and more as we get into December before we go on Christmas break, or holiday break, and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and pagan tree shit. Sorry, but if you don't know that, the Christmas tree is actually from the pagans. Thank you, Krampus. Oh, do you know about the Krampus? Like, do you know about the Krampus parade in Munich? Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've never been, but yes.
Okay, so I've never. Okay, so first off, I have to kind of say this in two ways because as somebody who is a world traveler, I have been to Munich, but not for the Krampus thing. My parents were stationed we were stationed outside of Frankfurt when I was a kid, and we came back home and they flew us into Munich like some dicks, which is in South Germany, right? And so somebody from our base had to come like from like literally 45 minutes out of Frankfurt all the way to fucking Munich to get us. This is like driving across like a state, like 3, 4, 5 hours away and then back, right? Like far. Actually, you know what? I think that's a question for our good friend over at Gemini. Hey, Google, how many hours does it take to drive from Frankfurt to Munich? 4 hours and 26 minutes. But they had to come a different way because of us being in Budigin. So let's ask that instead. How many hours from Budigin, Germany to Munich, Germany to drive? They're probably like, what in the hell town is that? Because I don't think it said it right. And it's like it's the way it's spelled, you wouldn't
pronounce it that way.
like you wouldn't know. Like it's hard to spell. Like, dude, I lived there as a kid for like the better part of a decade and I still can't spell it half the time. I got that shit on like shit hanging in my house and in my cupboard from like mugs and steins, and again cannot still spell my own hometown because I have 3 hometowns. I have a U.S. hometown, I have my military base overseas hometown, and then my military hometown, which is actually the town I was born in anyway. Because my dad was in the military when I was born, so I was born at a military town. Anyway. Of course, that was eons ago. I'm 9 grandkids deep. Eons is probably a better word than. Let's just say I'm closer to the grave than I was living in Germany. And honestly, that kind of hurts to say, but it's so true now. I'm old enough now that I'm closer to my grave than I am when I lived in Europe, dude. When I lived in Europe, the Berlin Wall still was up. Like it came down when I lived there as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm old. That's all I really said. I'm out.
I'm
All
older.
right, no, seriously, let's get out of here for the day. Hey, listen, Chris,
That's good.
I really appreciate you. I really appreciate everything that you bring to the table.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We appreciate everything that Chris has brought to this show, and he's such an intricate part of. Like you guys don't know that we have such a wonderful friendship that's been a friendship for now over a decade, and
Yep.
And it has just been wonderfully fun to have you as part of, nearly everything I've done in that time. You've somehow found a way
Kept you
to
going.
weasel your way in the door and get past security. And I love
Yep.
it. Well, actually, the truth is I invited you every time because I was like, hang out with me. And I just appreciate you being part of, not just, I always tell people it's easy to show up when I'm going to go hang out with famous people. Too easy.
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, sometimes we even get to ride on like party buses and limos. It's cool. It's too easy to show up though. But it's showing up week after week, year after year, when
Year
there
after
isn't
year.
anything big going on anymore or at the moment. And I love that about you, man. You, I had people who literally rode the, and here's the thing is, I have nothing wrong with somebody riding the coattails. That's how you get there. Shut up if you're hating on that. You rode somebody's coattails to get here, and somebody rode yours to get there. That's called society, bruh. So the fact
You
that you jumped on and then you really never really left takes you away from just riding some coattails to just being family. And I love that
yeah.
because I have had
I
people
love
who
you
have rode
too,
the
bro.
coattails long enough to get their career launched, started their own radio shows, or got the, did their own music career, whatever, right? And I love that too, by the way. Just love
But
that.
we've had
I'm not a
so
hater,
much
never
fun
have been.
doing this.
Just have so much fun. I had so much fun with all these
Yeah.
people throughout my life, whether they stuck around long enough to ride a coattail or just hung out forever. Chris is the guy that Chris is the homie that like came over to a party one day, passed out on the couch, woke up,
And
and you were
never
just
left.
like, do, 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 do you want to pay rent and just live here? Like, you're
Right?
cool, man. Like basically the work version of that. And then also became
Yeah.
just a wonderful personal friend, confidant. My kids know Chris by name. Like when I say
Yep.
Chris, they know I'm talking about Chris from Michigan. It is awesome. It's been a great
Hell yeah.
friendship. I just wanted to take a few minutes, maybe extend a show long enough to say thank you for that. I really appreciate you, buddy.
Oh yeah. I appreciate you too, bro.
All right. Well, now we really are getting out of this piece because, well, one, we have to, two, we really are
Yeah.
over
You
the
gotta
limit
hang
anyway.
decorations.
It's probably better we just get the hell out of here. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna have some fun shows coming up, man. We'll get it done. In the meantime, all you crazy cats and kittens out there, stay meow, right? Meow.
Meow.
Hey, it's your girl, Cammie Renee, and you're listening to Wake and Bake America Show. You know I bring you the best.
We're smoking.